welcome to Leadership Podcast, the space where emotional intelligence fuels real leadership growth. If you're navigating the messy middle of your career, if you're leading teams, juggling high expectations, and showing up every day hoping to leave an impact, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Rakesh Raveendran, leadership coach and founder of Ethos Leadership Collective. And today's episode dives into a quiet truth we rarely talk about. Your leadership reputation is not built in boardrooms, it's built in hallways, inboxes, and everyday conversation. Let's talk about micro decisions that are either building trust or eroding it without you even realizing it. Most people believe that leadership reputation is shaped by big wins, project launches, strategy decks, performance reviews. But according to a 2023 study by the Center of Creative Leadership, employees form 80% of their perception of their managers through daily micro interactions, not formal reviews. Small things matter more than we think. Harvard Business Review backs this up in their 2022 article on emotional contagion in the workplace. That was the name of the study, showing that brief emotional cues from leaders, which include something like tone, expression, word choices, directly influence employee engagement and stress levels. Your team might forget the content of your town hall speech, but they'll remember whether you acknowledged their inputs, whether you said thank you in the passing, whether you frowned when a mistake happened. These emotional footprints shape your brand more than your title ever will. As leadership researcher Bernie Brown puts it, trust is built in very small moments. So let's go under the hood. Let's get deeper into this. From a neuroscience perspective, your team's brains are constantly scanning you for threat or safety. This is called neuroception, a term coined by Dr. Stephen Porges. Even if you are not being overly critical, small signals like delayed replies or curt messages or lack of eye contact are interpreted by brain as not safe. Your leadership style may be logical and task force, but your team's brain is emotional and memory driven. In fact, Daniel Kahneman's peak end rule tells us people don't remember the full picture. They never do. They remember how they felt at the peak and at the ending of an interaction. So the fact is that one rushed, dismissive moment can override a week of good intentions. That's why micro decisions aren't minor. They're leadership leverage points. Let's get practical. Here are 5 micro decisions that shape your leadership identity every day. The first one is how you react to pressure or bad news. According to Yale study on leadership under stress, leaders who respond with composure rather than panic build psychological safety faster, even when mistakes happen. So you might want to try something like that. This when an incident or an issue happens within your team, instead of immediately asking a knee-jerk reaction, something like, "What happened?" Try something like this: "What do we need to fix this together?" This changes everything for your team. Your team will feel much safer approaching you when there are issues. The second one is the tone in written communication. The University of Groningen found that even natural sounding messages can be interpreted as negative in digital setting. And it depends on their mood or their environment in that moment as well. A toneless message like "noted" or "please check" often feels cold. Choose tone positive phrases instead, like "thanks for flagging, let me dig into this." "Appreciate the update, looks like we are getting closer." These don't cost anything, they cost nothing, but signal care. When you signal care, your team responds much better. And the third one is how you handle being interrupted or challenged. Do you breathe and engage or get defensive? Most people, most humans, will get defensive when challenged. According to a 2022 McKinsey report, leaders who actively invite dissent build higher performing teams and even faster promotions for themselves. So when somebody in your team challenges you, instead of being defensive, try this. That's an interesting take. Tell me more. What you're doing here is opening it up. You're keeping your mind open to receiving new ideas or contradictory ideas, for all you know. But you make that team member feel safer. Dissent is a good thing, especially for leaders. It's a good thing. You don't want to surround yourself by a bunch of yes men or women. You want people who dissent and disagree with you respectfully and logically. This small change, transformation to keeping your mind open, being curious, trying to know and understand more about your team, transforms a tense moment into trust. The fourth one is that your endings matter more than you think. According to Kahneman's research, how you end a meeting or a message sticks. Whenever you're in a meeting, try ending your meeting or a group get together or any huddle that you may have with your team with something like, let's regroup Thursday or next week. I appreciate your input on this. Or even something like, thanks for pushing this forward, means a lot to me. Leaders who close interactions with appreciation build loyalty over time, but then much faster, actually. So it's really important that you show gratitude to your team for the work that they're doing. And then the fifth one is your self-awareness is real time. So, for example, ever caught yourself snapping and then just moving on? A quick repair builds more trust than pretending it didn't happen. In fact, Gottman Institute found that in teams and relationships, repair attempts after micro ruptures, basically something like where you snap or react quickly to a situation, and those are called micro ruptures, predict long-term trust 80% of the time. When you snap at something because you suddenly reacted unintentionally to a situation, try this, right? Not necessarily in that moment, but maybe a little later when you have cooled down, you've collected yourself. Say something like, hey, I think I was short earlier. Apologies, let me reset. That 5-second reset is leadership gold. So never hesitate in being vulnerable in those kind of situations. If you have snapped and you know that wasn't the right thing to do, 99.9% of the time, you know that it may not have been the best of yourself. You may not have been at your best. But then if you decide to just ignore it, brush it off and saying, oh, they'll deal with it, it's going to break trust. All it takes is 5 seconds. Reset in that relationship. And that's what is gold. Yeah. So here's your micro habit audit that I can give you. 5 questions to ask yourself at the end of each day. Did I respond or react today? Did I affirm someone's contribution, however small it might have been? Or did I not do that? Did I model calm under stress? Did my messages signal support, or did I just add to the pressure instead? Did I end at least one conversation with clarity or encouragement? Look, I don't expect that we be perfect in all of this. You don't need to be perfect. There is no need to be perfect at all. All that is needed is just to raise your awareness, adjust one thing at a time, then build from there on. Because reputation is memory, not effort. It's how people feel when you enter or leave a moment. So here's the truth. You don't need a new title to lead better. You just need to make better micro decisions, one moment at a time. These choices are invisible in the moment, but over time, they become your legacy. So lead slow, speak with intention, and remember, small is powerful when it is consistent. This is your leadership podcast, and I'm Rakesh Raveendran, helping you lead with clarity, presence, and emotional intelligence because that's what the best leaders actually do. Until next time, lead real, lead forward, lead human. Also, below in the description, you will find a link to my free course on leadership, Promotion Accelerator Pack. Click on the link, use the coupon code PROMO100, and you will get it 100% free. I'll see you in the next one.